The Stars and Stripes show is brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
It's Gabs FM, powered to engage your world. And of course, every Friday between the hour of 12 and 1 p.m., we have the Stars and Stripes radio show, proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy. And the objective of this particular show is to highlight the bilateral relationship between the U.S. government and, of course, the BW government. And today, did you know that women make up to 24% of the ICT industry? Today, we commemorate the theme Girls in ICT, or Girls in STEM fields. And, of course, we are going to talk about why it is important to encourage more women and girls to pursue careers in the world of tech, as the fields has historically been male dominated, with women and girls facing barriers in both entry and advancement in this industry. Whether we like it or not, where the BW government is taking a step to become a knowledge-based economy, and STEM is part and parcel of our future. The Girls in Tech movement began in 2007 as a way to encourage more women and girls in different parts of the world to pursue careers in the field. The Girls in Tech movement includes women and girls to create an inclusive and innovative tech industry for all. And of course, one of the founder and CEOs at Women and Tech Network had this to say, and I quote, "To create a more diverse and inclusive tech world, we need to inspire and empower the next generation of female role models to pursue and develop their careers in technology and become innovators, leaders, and of course, entrepreneurs." And of course, in the building, I am speaking to the United States Embassy Strategic Content Coordination Specialist. He goes by the name Re Ephraim Ke Oreng. Sir, how are you, and welcome to the show?
Hi, Swift. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me to the show.
It's fantastic to have you on the mic. I know you've done a lot for the Stars and Stripes radio show. What people don't know is that Ephraim was one of the content producers of season 1 of the Stars and Stripes radio show. And, you know, I'm honored to have you on wearing a different hat. Look, let's touch on it, Ephraim. Why does the U.S. government support participation of women and girls in STEM fields or the ICT sector?
The U.S. government supports efforts across the globe to increase the participation of women and girls in all their diversity in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics fields. STEM skills and knowledge, including in digital skills and technology, are needed to address some of the most pressing challenges of our day, in particular the climate crisis, which disproportionately affects women and girls. Women and girls, meanwhile, they've been shown to be some of the most creative and vocal advocates in our collective fight against climate change.
Wow. You know, that makes sense, because a lot of women and girls generally, for community-related issues and objective, they are usually, I mean, history has proven that over the years. So definitely that's an important component. What has the U.S. government done to encourage girls to follow the STEM career paths? I mean, human capital is an important component of what the Republic of Botswana believes in. And, you know, the model of human capital, especially in the space of tech, the U.S. government has modeled the power of tech. Walk us through what has the U.S. government done to encourage girls to follow a career in STEM paths.
We've actually supported various programs to empower young girls at school levels. For example, I can talk about a school program for, we called it the science camp. It was actually focusing on empowering girls in the Delta. We were working on this we issued a grant through the Children in the Wilderness.
Okay.
That is a non-profit that operates in the Delta. So we worked with them to actually deliver this program. Maybe before I go much further into talking about this program, let me also mention that today, one of your guests today is actually a beneficiary of some of this kind of programs.
Yes.
STEM programs. She'll come and talk about this and say how this has empowered her. This program, we did it in 2020, the science camp. So what we did, or rather, maybe let me just jump to the objectives of the project.
Yes, please do.
This was, we targeted young girls at junior secondary school level, and mainly to increase knowledge and understanding of school-going girls in rural areas on the importance of environmental conservation and careers in STEM.
Oh, nice.
So, to encourage them to actually take up STEM related subjects, because after noticing, this has been said in different fora that we need to have more women in STEM fields, and this sort of helps to do that, especially through this kind of programs. And one of the objectives is to avail school-going girls in rural areas with positive women role models in environmental conservation and STEM careers to mentor them. One of the things that we did, we worked with CITW to actually bring experts from the field, women experts from the field as trainers, to actually come and talk about their fields, and also to inspire the girl child and say, this is what we do on a daily basis. I remember one of the days we actually went to the river where they, I think a lady professor from Bua, and she actually demonstrated how they do the water tests and all that. It was so exciting just to see this, and and one of the good things about this is that the response towards this kind of programs has been very huge. We receive, even on social media, we receive a lot of people who are actually saying they would like to do this, and others were saying how the experiences have been.
I do see, Samantha, a big opportunity for women and girls in STEM in the following place, in the health sector.
Yeah.
I think that is one area that we need to also encourage a strong and robust STEM education program for Bana ba rona, because whether we like it or not, in rural Botswana, young girls are faced with a number of social challenges. Whether it is period poverty, whether it is rape and sexual abuse, whether it is, health related issues, and, bridging the gap in terms of what the BW government is trying to achieve for a healthier Botswana, and of course those are some of the important components. Well, if you've just joined us, welcome to the Stars and Stripes radio show, proudly brought to you by the US Embassy in partnership with Gabs FM, hashtag America in Botswana. And of course, today we're talking ICT, we're talking women, girls in the STEM education or the STEM industry, or some people call it tech. Feel free to be part and parcel of the show by calling us on 3956962 or sending us a WhatsApp on +267 3956962. 14962 is our text message. And let me ask you this last question in closing, Ephraim. Impact. How impactful are these programs? How impactful is it to have women, participating in STEM industry?
Thank you very much, Swift. The beneficiaries of these programs they've gone on to do well, especially at tertiary level in STEM subjects. We have seen, actually this morning I was talking to one of the organizers of the science camp based at the Children in the Wilderness, Mr. Malusi Lebekwe, and he actually mentioned that they have received reports that show that the students who actually went through this program in the Delta, they are doing well at senior secondary school. And we, as I've already stated, we also have another good example of actually how successful these programs are with one of the co-speakers that I have here, Agandi Tlhogo. She will give you more details about what they are doing with the clicking generation, and how they're actually empowering young kids to also take up stem cells and to do well at that level. Yes, so you can see that indeed this is actually there is a lot that is happening in terms of impacting on young people, especially young girls.
Well, it's Gabs FM, power to engage your world. Now listen up. There are several reasons why it is important to have women in the science, technology, engineering, and of course, mathematics industry or tech industry. Diversity of perspectives. Women bring a unique perspective to the STEM industry that can help to solve problems in new and extremely innovative ways. Including women in STEM fields increases the diversity of thought and approach, which can lead to more creative solutions to a number of complex issues. Addressing the gender gap. Historically, the STEM industry has been male-dominated. Including more women in the industry can help to address the gender gap and promote gender equality. This is important not only from a social justice perspective, but also because research has shown that the diverse teams are more effective and productive, meeting the demand for skilled workers. There is a growing demand for skilled workers in STEM fields. Including women in the industry can help to address the talent shortage and ensure that the industry has access to the best and brightest minds, and we know that our women are capable. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of this, we're going to continue conversation. Do not change that dial. And of course, welcome to the Stars and Stripes radio show. Remember, we got Chasing the Dream. We're going to talk to our partner Spotlight. She's the founder and director of Clicking Generation. This is a woman who lives, breathes STEM, and of course, we're going to have that conversation on the other side of this. There's something special about music, and you don't know what's going on in the studio. They're all dancing. These civil servants are changing, who are seeing their real character. And of course, Cool and the gang get down on it, taking us to 12:29 across the nation. On the other side of this, we're going to continue conversation. And of course, welcome to the Stars and Stripes radio show, proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy in partnership with Gabs FM, #America in Botswana. And we're talking ICT, we're talking women and girls in the STEM education. Good afternoon.
The Stars and Stripes show is brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
It's Gabs FM, powered to engage your world. And remember, girls serve as role models for future generations. When young girls see successful women in STEM fields, they are more likely to pursue careers in these areas themselves. This can help to break down gender stereotypes and, of course, encourage more girls to consider STEM subjects as viable career options.
Definitely, Swift. And we move along swiftly to our partner Spotlight. This is actually one of my favorite section of the Stars and Stripes radio show. And in studio, we're talking to the voice of a Botswana woman who is doing absolutely fantastic. We're speaking to Me Arang Ditlhogo, who's the founder of Clicking and Yali, who's also a Yali alumni. Good afternoon.
Hello, Samantha.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm quite excited to get into this next segment. We are talking everything STEM and the work that you do. So let's first talk about the significance of International Girls in ICT Day. How is it celebrated globally?
Okay, so through the United Nations, the ITU, which is the International Telecommunications Union, celebrates girls in ICT all over the world. And this happens every last Thursday of April, every single year. Every last Thursday of April.
Okay.
So this year is going to be on Thursday, 27th April.
Okay.
Where we're just going to be celebrating women in tech, and how do we get more girls to participate in tech? How do we get women to be part of this tech evolution that is happening all over?
Oh, wow. Now, I think a bit earlier on, Swift and Ephraim were talking about just the importance of girls participating in the tech industry. Like, from your experience, Ahang, how has this International Girls in ICT contributed to gaining us being able to raise awareness about the importance of girls participating in the tech industry? Let's look at locally first and then globally.
Okay. Locally, I think both locally and globally, we can put it in two parts. So there's the high level, where governments are involved, organizations are involved. They get to appreciate this call from the UN to say, what are you doing within government, within different organizations to promote girls in STEM? What are you doing in terms of how far are you in the roadmap of implementation? When you talk to Botswana locally, We can talk to projects around village connectivity. How are we making sure that our girls, our women are safe on the internet? We can talk to access. How do we make sure that within these numbers that we've mentioned before, the 24%, how do we make sure that we increase it? On a more personal level to the girls themselves, we talk to them about the role models that exist, women in tech, who are doing amazing things and how they could possibly be inspired. Coming back to the classroom and the work that we do at the Click and Generation, we break the barriers to say, you know what, STEM might be intimidating, but it can also be fun. So it's that these different levels to commitment from governments in different countries to our stakeholders, how are schools coming into play, how are parents even coming into play to make sure that these girls are not only safe, but they get to contribute to the economy as it speaks to the tech evolution as it is.
Wow. Yeah. Wow, it's amazing. And you know, whether we like it or not, these are things that we need to see the girl child get involved in, you know. The global future of education. STEM is the future in terms of robotics, in terms of coding. And I think this is why these conversations are so important, Samantha.
I think Arang also touched on the importance of making sure that the girl child isn't intimidated, because honestly, when you hear certain tech terms, it is a bit intimidating, right? Let's just get into how can this specific day inspire girls to pursue careers in specific tech, in the specific tech industry?
Okay. They get to appreciate what tech is, what tech offers, and how they can possibly pave way to get into that. And the most important thing, we are not saying girls should get into tech. We're saying every industry has technology in it. That's
true. Yeah.
So whether you're going to be an artist, whether you're going to be somebody who is in the creative industry,
agriculture.
Tech is coming for you. Nowadays we talk AI. It's coming for all of us in all industries. So we need these girls, we need these boys still, because somebody's going to say, what about the boys? But we are talking girls specifically today. But we need them to appreciate that in every field, wherever they're destined to be, they're probably going to encounter.
There's no running away from it.
So we need to break these barriers, these walls that really limit them. Exploration.
Definitely. Ahang, another question. What initiatives and what programs are in place in the United States to support girls' access and participation in ICT? Because remember, this conversation is also a way in which we can learn from what's happening across the waters.
Yeah. I'm a Mandela Washington Fellow.
Yes, Yali. Yeah.
For me, it really opened up doors. It really opened up this things that I could only imagine. These things are in existence. So the program itself really opened up networks, because beyond it, you get to appreciate how then the US government can support your initiative locally. We've been really blessed to receive support within our organization to implement hackathons in the Ngamiland area.
Yeah.
That was fun. And the US Embassy offered these resources. Yes. So in that way, the US is really playing an incredible role in only not motivating those people who went to Yali, but coming back. Then what?
And implementing well-being.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they've done, Ephraim was mentioning earlier of all the incredible programs that they're doing. So yes, we've benefited from it. Yes.
And the future of innovation is in STEM. Whether we like it or not, satellites, sending satellites to space, whether we like it or not, our devices is part and parcel of what tech and STEM. I mean, the fintech, fintech is a big component. Platforms like MyZaka, Orange Money, they're unbanked, and we need to encourage, Botswana to get involved to create our own bridge. I really, really would like to see our own apps, that describe what Botswana is, what Botswana offers, I must say there is an app in the, I think it's called InDrive. Have you guys heard of InDrive?
The cab.
The cab app. And I was so impressed that, somebody took up that space. If I'm not mistaken, with InDrive, let's say you're on a cab and you want to go to the main mall from Fairgrounds, you actually throw your rate out.
Yeah.
And then the first InDrive driver that gets you, you can negotiate. So if it's $20 and the InDrive driver agrees, then it's $20, which is a brilliant and convenient.
Absolutely.
I think another thing that is really commendable is the fact that you guys are not basing your tech education mo ditoropong. A lot of the time we see you mentioned going to the Ngami Land area, and other places, villages that are often not seen and not noticed. So thank you so much for being able to do that, to make sure that you guys are really doing amazing in that space. Let's look at equality, gender equality. Seeing as today we're talking about girls and women in tech, this question definitely has to come out. How do girls in the ICT programs in the USA contribute to promoting gender equality in the tech industry?
I think apart from, we can go all technical and talk about programs, but one thing that I've seen the girls being equipped with is confidence.
Right?
Confidence. And I think we should be leveraging from that and adding our spice of Botu, adding our spice of going back to our roots, and as we move with tech, we shouldn't forget who we are. So that's one thing that I've realized. They build their confidence first, self, and then anything they touch, whether it's this device, whether it's coding, it becomes so much easier because they believe they can. And I think that has been the main difference within the research that I've done within, just observation wise. You get to appreciate these things, and all these other tools then come in to complement the confidence that has already been built within these girls, within these women, so I think we have a lot of work to do, but it's not difficult. We can do it.
At least the work has started.
Absolutely. Well, it's Gabs FM, powered to engage your world. And of course, if you've just joined us, welcome to the Stars and Stripes radio show. And we're going to move along swiftly. The next segment is called Chasing the Dream. And personally, it's also one of my personal favorite. This is where you get to hear about all the educational opportunities. And of course, through the Education USA office for prospective students, academics, and professionals. Samantha and I have had the privilege to benefit from this particular office. But it's a Friday, so I'm going to bump you some great feel-good music. And on the other side of this, we're going to continue. I hope you have your dancing shoes. Leave the heels in the car, okay? Let's dance. It's Gabs FM, powered to engage your world. This song takes me to a special place, man. A special memories that I have of. Sometimes it's okay to be egotistical in your own thoughts and your mindset. You have to be your own biggest fan. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're sort of celebrate to get like celebrate.
Celebrate.
Hey,
celebrate yourself. Eh?
And she goes by the name Wabi Letao. She is the coordinator at Education USA. I know you wear different hats.
Yeah, no,
just explain your title again for us, so that
Emerging Voices and Alumni Coordinator. So in Emerging Voices, anybody who is coming up and you've never heard of, those are the people that I'm actually looking out for.
Can I ask you a personal question? Outside of what you do you do mentorship? Because you travel around the country. Knowledge is power, and you have a lot of knowledge of the opportunities that the United States offers to the average Motswana.
Yeah, on a personal, for me, I do mentorship.
Wow.
And that is the reason why I always tell people I love my job, because it is just an extension of who I am.
I like that.
So whether or not you'll find me kokotling, or you'll find me at church, even at bridal showers, you'll find me there, and most probably I'm drawn to young people. So that is me.
So what would you say to the parent who's listening and saying, well, okay, the U.S. Embassy's got different sectors. Education USA has these opportunities for professionals. And why is it important, at the very least, to send an email and engage your office to say, what does this office do exactly?
I think the one thing that I would say is that you never know. And one of the things is that there are a lot of people sitting there with ideas and they have questions, but yet you're not asking. We have a basket of different exchange programs, of resources that can actually help people out there. So just send us an email, inquire. Sometimes all it takes is just inquire, leave a number, we'll get back to you, and then we can have a chat. PAS Gaborone, @state.gov. If you have an inquiry about any of our programs, please reach out. It does not matter where you are in this country. Please just give us a call.
You know, I was speaking to a young lady, Samantha. I think she's 14, and she's an athlete. She's a sprinter. I think she does 200 meters, 400 meters. And I was telling her about the Stars and Stripes radio show. And I was telling her about the Education USA office. Gary, look, here's this contact. Send them an email and be proactive. You're 14, but tomorrow you'll be 18. Tomorrow you're going to be looking for a tertiary education. Engage this office now to understand your decision-making process in the next 4 years. You know one thing that she's taught me? She's taught me the importance of documenting your volunteerism.
That's right. That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
And you take it for granted that just, even volunteering at church counts. Or maybe you are at school right now and you are asked to give a presentation to the whole, school assembly. That counts. Or you are mending the tuck shop. That counts. All these little things that you are doing. Or your next door neighbor is an elderly woman and every day you just feel like, oh, I'm going to cook them lunch for that day. And you take it as a small thing, but it's a huge thing because it shows your leadership portfolio, potential and what you're doing for the community. So I would say, please ask, please be more engaging. If you're in Form 1, you should be thinking about, where am I going to go for studies?
I like that.
Yeah.
Look, let's talk opportunities. What do you have in that beautiful basket of yours called Education USA? Talk to us.
Today I'm actually coming here with money.
Woo!
Yay, we love the money.
Definitely. US dollar?
US dollars.
US dollars.
So I've talked about this in previous shows, but it's called we have the annual program statement. Is the U.S. Embassy Gaborone PD, meaning public diplomacy, annual program statement. And so this is where we are literally asking for individuals, NGOs, CBOs, non-profit making organizations to actually apply for grants to help the U.S. Embassy actually, push forth and support us in our priorities. So our priorities are ranging from promoting democratic principles. We could be talking about, fostering social inclusion of underdeserved communities like Ahang here is going out there in Shakawe and the others. We're looking at projects that also talk about waste management and climate change.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And empowering women and girls to lead. So these are some of the themes and priorities that we're focused on. And so individuals and NGOs, non-profit making organizations can apply for this. Now, in terms of funding, it can range from 10,000 to 50,000 in terms of small grants, right? So, and that is in US dollars. So you can apply for a small grant that could actually go to a maximum of 50 and you'll be awarded 50,000 US dollars to do any of these projects that actually are in alignment with what we are focusing on. But we also look at projects that are focused on university partnerships, where we're getting our local universities also partnering with US universities to bring about different programs. One could actually even focus on curriculum development or maybe a speaker program. These are just some of the examples that we actually that have been that have received granting before, right? And so look at this APS. It is the deadline is coming very soon.
What is very soon? What is very soon?
So when the APS came up, I think the deadline there isn't 2 rounds, right? So we have 2 rounds of the APS. The first round is ending this month, end of this month, is the first round for you to apply.
Okay.
And then after that, you can take the second round, which will actually, the deadline will be in August of 28th. But I want to encourage everybody to take advantage of the first round, because even if you are not successful in the first round, at least you'll get a panel to discuss, what's wrong with my program, and then you can actually resubmit again for the second round. And so please get, the likes of Boahan, we didn't go to them.
Yes,
they came with an idea, and she can even tell you that there are numerous times she has applied for grants. She didn't get them.
Yes.
True story.
But then she kept on coming and refining her proposal, aligning it with our priorities.
Yes.
And then she was able to get funding.
Do you know what Dr. Miles Monroe says? The wealthiest place in the world is the graveyard. And, so many Botswana are sitting on, I would love to do this for my community. I'd love to do this. I'm a teacher, an educator. I'd like to do this. So these are the opportunities that Education USA offers. One thing that we are passionate, Samantha and I, is, using the microphone and media in line with voter education, first-time voters, women voters. So this is where we'd like to encourage as many people. Number one, go and like the U.S. Embassy social media platforms. Engage the U.S. Embassy on. Even if you write an email or a hello, I want to know what you offer at this office.
Bother them.
Or I heard you guys that on the radio. That is step one, because a lot of these opportunities result in a multiplier effect of impact.
Yeah, and I must say, thanks to you guys, we are getting a lot of inquiries now saying, we heard you on radio from Stars and Stripe. You're talking about this kind of program.
Wow.
What is it? And so just that alone, where you are able to actually get somebody to talk to you on a one-on-one, not like AI or something like that, get automatic message, but you will get a real person. And if English is not your forte, I can, where you're getting somebody just explaining it to you, nice and easy, at the comfort of your home, and all you have to do is just call or email, and we will get back to you. I would say that if you are inquiring, please do leave your contact details, because we do realize that we work a lot on emails, and we're used to it. We're American Embassy anyway.
Yes.
But you may not have access to your email all the time. Please leave us your number, then we can reach you. Because sometimes we respond, and then you are going to call in 2 weeks and you're saying, I didn't get a response, but we long sent it.
Well, it's the Stars and Stripes radio show, proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy in partnership with Gabs FM, hashtag America in Botswana. And that's how we wrap up the show. So much opportunities. Let me tell you something. An investment in human capital is a guarantee for destiny. And that is what we need to understand. We need to invest in human capital. We need to invest in our women and our children. And let me tell you, those that can afford, please consider extracurricular activities in the STEM education space. Consider coding. What is happening in countries like the US and countries like Asia is the little ones are already very much active in STEM education. Fast forward in 10 to 20 years. I mean, we're speaking about chat GPT, the AI, artificial intelligence. And did you know that my opening, I used chat GPT? I just asked a question and bam, and who's coding, who's creating those platforms? So Banabaron, in order to ensure that we still have our cultural heritage, that we still protect who we are as Botswana, we need to ensure that you are part and parcel of the change. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and wishing you nothing but love, peace and happiness. Remember, please like all the social media pages of the U.S. Embassy, www.bw I almost got it. www.usembassy.gov.
So it says bw.usembassy.gov.
I'll be honest, on my laptop, once I press BW, it pops up, so I know.
And so just before we go, there's a lot of information about the APS. Go on to that website, bw.usembassy.gov. Download the document and read through it.
Yes, appreciate it, understand
and
it.
For you, all questions, all answers are in there.
Before you send email or call,
please just read first.
Thank you. Moving swiftly along now. Listen up. Samantha's got something to tell you on the other side of this. We got Tebogo Mokoto on standby for the news coming your way. Good afternoon.
Lubati. Power to engage your world is on 94.1 FM.
The Stars and Stripes show was brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.